just calling to say I calling to say I
Heaven just knows what it wants. Will I go back to the place where I belong? Everyone could break my heart, but I try my best to not fall apart. And I find it hard to let go. The memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who never say never. You'll be my pleasure. I got nothing to be scared of, because where people live, there is always love. I know the answers in my heart, so I'll try my best to not fall apart. And I find it hard to let go. The memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who say never. Will you be my pleasure? Find it hard to let go. Memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who never say never. Will you be my pleasure?
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping. All 800 horses
gonna say I.
Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ricky from RDC Broadcasting. You guys probably know me, but yeah. This time with the RF2 BTCC final, we've got a small grid this time around here, only 13 drivers. And fortunately I have a throat infection, so I'm going to be trying to make it through the broadcast with some good energy, but it's going to be difficult for me, so I hope you guys understand that as well. For the people that normally don't watch the RF2, you might have heard me on the ACC 24-hour Nordschleife broadcast. That was a lot of fun to do. Now back with some rFactor 2 action, a game that I don't really get to see that much, so it's a lot of fun. And I can't wait for this one to come here. It's going to be the same as always here, so we've got a short qualifying before we head into our other stuff for regular free 20-minute races. And it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, so stay tuned here. The usual top contesters are there, that mainly being Andrea Romy, who I think is going to win the championship today. He should at least. Yes, nobody's really close to him at the moment. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch as well. It's Federico Pecoraro to go purple in the first sector for now, although good chance that on such a short track and him getting out on track as one of the first, he's going to be able to not keep that for very long, as the drivers are all making their way out there. But that's a small mistake made and lost the grip, and that will just be it for him. In case you haven't recognized it yet, we are at the Hockenheimring Baden-Württemberg, a track close to my heart. I've had the pleasure of visiting this one myself. Absolutely love this track, and no matter where you sit in the grandstands, this is just one to remember, I think, always. Scout Graf we're aboard with. And he drove that pretty well in the previous races of the season. Unfortunately, couldn't net himself more wins, but still, I think a great result for him. And I can't wait to see what he performs now. He goes fastest in the first sector for now, and now it's just the right-hander, then the left-handers into the last two right-handers there. It's an interesting layout as well, right? This is a short layout that we're using. And to quickly take you through standings as well, it's Andrea Romy still leading. 706 points to his name, and actually I've just seen as well that the drivers that did have the chances to overtake him, it's gonna be a little difficult because they're not attending. Because for example, Benjamin Eckerson there, he is obviously one of the new main admins of the server and couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately. Carl Graf is contesting. He isn't currently P3 in the championship and could probably finish second if he does well today. The gap is tough. It's 589 points compared to the 620 on Benjamin Eck, but it's doable here. And then I think that Dave Goodway also isn't contending. No, that is indeed the case. So that's mean that's going to have a good chance at least maintaining his position, even if he doesn't overtake. Now, Antonio Notte is there. He's currently 5th in the championship. In his Honda Civic Type R, he would love to do a little bit more damage here. At the moment it stands as follows. It is 5 minutes and 40 seconds left of qualifying here. Andrea Romi's leading. That shouldn't really surprise anybody now, does it? Graf comes up as well here in second place. It's only a couple hundredths off, so it's not going to be too easy for Romy here. We already know that Graf still has potential to move over as well. It's going to be the yellow flag out, but what's happening, we don't really know at the moment. My gut tells me might have been Brian Gillis here as he teleported back into the pits, but same goes for Federico Pegraro, who has made a couple mistakes despite being a driver that well, hasn't been too consistent in the qualifying all around. I mean, you gotta be honest here, right? Now here's the man to watch. It is Andrea Romy. Making his way across here, was a little bit slower in the first sector, so it's going to be difficult. You can just see how much those tires are smoking for the time being. There's a yellow flag in sector 1 again. And I must say that this car is looking absolutely stunning. I love the livery he's gone for. Just will he be able to perform? Time will tell. Won't be easy, I can tell you that much. I think we all knew that already. And Kyle Graf overtakes him there, and with a lap that looked to be a little bit slower, it's not going to be the improvement I think that he needed. So we have a new provisional pole sitter here. That's this man, Kyle Graf, with a 1:03.381, and this time he was a little bit slower in the first sector, but gets purple in the second sector. So another improvement, very well possible here. What's it gonna be? Time will tell. Makes his way across the final couple corners here. What is it gonna be then for Kyle Graf? He goes a tad wide, but I think that was within margin here. Crosses that line. This looks to be a stellar map, but it's not gonna be an improvement actually. It's only thousandths, however, and not good enough. The rFactor still on his out lap here, so come back to him in just a moment. Here is Brian Gillies in the BMW. A driver that's had a fair bit of unfortunate moments, I guess we could say. Has been collected a couple times during the races, especially in Italy, and this is, well, a mistake to his own wrongdoing. Perhaps that wall. That should just be the reset for him then. Here's Alan Palmer. Currently in P9. Would love to get a little bit more out of this, but it looks like the gap to Nate Himmelsbach is quite big for the time being. So it is quite difficult for him to try and manage. Also, there's some idiots honking outside my house right now for some reason. I hope you guys can't hear that on the stream. But it looks like we are all ready to go. At least Giuseppe Torcio made his way out, but is still struggling. Same goes for Carl Struel. I actually think might be a new addition here. I don't really remember the name at least. And Brown, of course, is once again there. Yes, this is the first time he's joining in us tonight, so he's joining at the end of the season, but Carl Struel could very well do some damage. Curious to see what the newcomer can do then, and sure, it won't be a championship winning result, but ooh, Alan Brown goes really wide, and that's going to be end of his lap time there. Doesn't get beached luckily, but see himself lose a couple positions here. His time's now running out here. Here's Dario Raffetta again, now up to pace, but we're in the first sector by quite a big margin already, and I'll have to get a little bit more out of this, but it's looking quite difficult. And as he comes out on that right down here, now he's got to find that little dip, but maybe Torcio's able to give him a little bit of a dip stream here. I don't think it's going to be close enough, however, as Torcio's just getting ready to also get a new lap record in here, and now the time's running out. It's not going to be easy, is it? Raffetta just waits. Hopes to get a time in. I think was trying to line up that exit pretty well, and kind of go through for all of the lost opportunity, but this lap won't be it, unfortunately. Now don't look at that third sector, as that was just him lining it up. As it looks like right now, we've only got a handful of drivers today. We've got 13 on the grid now, which is unfortunately the lowest we have reached all season. We were hoping for, but I guess that sometimes happens. Corsa makes his way around now. Was a little bit slower in the first sector, but the second one's looking okay. We're just gonna make his way around that finish line and keeps going like this. I think he'll be able at least to beat out the driver in front of him. Nothing's a given at the moment, and he comes around those final couple corners here, and it'll come down to how he does that exit. And the exit is quite okay. I felt like it's not gonna be a stellar lap time, but it's gonna be a 106 at least. George Show in P12 for the time being, then second to last, unfortunately. Qualifying's over now, so Ultra driver's already out, and Andre Rome has one more shot at this, but he's unfortunately a little bit slower through the first sector. He's got a little to play with. Kyle Graf is his main opponent for the time being, even though the gap's absolutely massive, and a 1-2 every single time would just net him a victory in the championship nevertheless. But then he goes past us by a significant margin. 2/10 he's found over in the middle sector. Pumps that car around absolutely on the limit. What's the time going to be then? He's going to be the last driver to come in, I think. And there's a handful still behind him, but it's going to be Andrea Romy to take pole position, as it's going to be 103.237. That is a stellar lap. And Pecoraro, well, comes in P3. A good result from him. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody's in now, and Andrea Romy takes a pole position. We're going to be taking a small break, and we're getting ready for race number 1.
Calling to say I calling to say I
Alright, it looks like we're going to be back in just a moment now with the X race. It's going to be the first race of today, one of 3. Qualifying was quite entertaining to watch. Now let's see if we can get a repetition here over on the first race here. We're going to see how that one goes. I can't wait. And we are underway. Himmelsbach with a horrific start. And immediately Georgie goes down his inside. So does Adam Brown as well. But we are well on their way here. Turn 1 looked majority clean here. There's space here. Adam Brown goes a little bit wide, I was going to say. But no, they all leave space for each other, which is great to see as Nota gets spun around. That's going to cost him quite a few positions here. And then there's a massive crash somewhere else, I believe, as well. Yeah. Tony and Nota finds himself all the way back now, and now he's going to have to make that recovery drive. That was not what we were hoping for at all. Carl Graf leads. It's also going to be Pecoraro to move past the other BMW here of Andy Aromi. Keep in mind that these are the title contenders. Coming into the last corner, nothing much has changed here. Rafetta goes down the inside of Alan Palmer, and Alan Palmer not looking to defend it that actively. Could have made a move or something, but has decided to just leave it over for now. And this time it's all clean through turn 1, and we expect nothing less here, right? No big changes there as these two finding out. Now Carl Strual, the newest addition to our RF2 roster, together with Alan Brown, and Alan Brown moves down the inside and completes that move rather easily. So I'm afraid there's not much that could have been done for him to try and defend that. So it's just going to be this order as we speak. Brian Gillies now sees that Tom Bernil is getting a little bit close to him, but Rafetta is right up his bum as well. It looks like the order's not going to change from much else. Hiromi's still fighting. He would love to get a little bit closer to Pecoraro, but Messina's also still up there. A little bit feathering that Frodo a little bit more than he perhaps would have liked there, but they all make it through, so it's all good for now. Rafetta. So close, but yet so far. Not there quite yet here, but you can just see it how much pace they're fighting. Tom Bernil takes a defensive line early, but that could allow for Rafetta to get down the inside here. He's going to have to time it well, though. It's going to be very little space. Tom Bernil defends it nicely. He should have the inside line coming into the next corner too, but no, actually he's given up here, so maybe he also thought it was a little bit unfair. I'm not sure, but Rafetta moves up to P6 at least. Tony and Nota so close to Adam Brown, and actually sees him go off. We'll say goodbye, see you later. As Adam Brown finds himself facing the wrong way, even that's pretty awful. Carl Graf with the fastest lap of the race, and it really hasn't been the race for Brown so far. We've seen him make mistakes during quali. We've now seen a mistake during the race. Henry Romy dives down the inside of Federico Pecoraro and completes that move. Very well done. And what else are we going to see now? It's going to be Torcho that finds Carl Struhaus still. He's not quite there yet on the move, but he's getting a little bit closer, it feels like. Cap currently is 0.6, but now gets a little bit bigger. He's able to close that gap again. So that isn't everything. It's all just good for now when they're so close by. It's neck and neck, really. It looks like we're not going to see an order change anytime soon here. Romy is still leading over Pecoraro. Actually, he seems to have picked up the pace here as well. But it's well done. And who else is going to get a move on here? Alan Brown's into the pits now. He's going to repair his car. Felt like the damage was too big to try and handle it. And Torch Show now sees Carl Struel get into that distance. And the Cooper would love to get a little bit closer. So close. No moves afterwards, so at the moment it looks like this will just be the order. Just wait a little more until Torcho can try and get that move on here. Elisa Rafetta now also getting close to each other. So close, but yet so far Rafetta would love to get a little bit closer. There's a yellow in sector 2, but what's happened and I can't really tell. Don't really see the order changing that much, so that makes me think that it was somebody at the back perhaps. Couldn't have Alan Brown, who's coming to the pits and he hasn't come out yet, so I think he might have caught a retirement on this one. And now Torcho moves down the inside here, coming into the second last corner. Struel goes way too wide and Giuseppe Torcho is able to get away. Now it's up to the Cooper to try and just create a gap here as well. Brian Gill is looking in his mirror. It's Carlo Messina that he sees up front, but he also knows there's very little that he can do to get closer. Dario is going to be pressuring him, of course. Would just love to get a little bit closer, but when do you make that happen? I'm not sure. Rafetta's catching here. You can tell he's doing really well to catch up. We don't see the move as of yet, but I keep my eye out to see if that does anything. So close, but yet so far for Dario Rafetta. Looks like Brian Gillies will just stay out for the time being here. There's not much else that I can do about it. And Brown now is at least out of the pits again. What he was gonna call it quits, but he hasn't so far. Here's the leader at the moment. 2.5 seconds clear of the second driver here, which is Andrea Romy. Which is very good to see. Graf crosses that line, is still finding himself in first. Here goes Rafetta then. Pause Brian Gillies. Rafetta goes a little bit too wide on that exit there, and Brown goes way wider. Now it's just kind of silent here. Everybody just kind of doing their own thing. And it looks like it's still Graf, then it's Romy. Pecoraro and P3 doing his own thing as well. There's 10 minutes remaining of the race here. Over through with nobody really fighting now. Messina's just relaxed in P4. Then it's Rafetta, Gillies, Brunel, Alan Palmer, Giuseppe Torcio, and then it's Carlos Trual, the newest addition to get into P10 here. The good news is we're all still here at least. That is good to see. Pecoraro goes up. Well done. Looks like the order's just kind of set right now. Alan Palmer still trying to get away. Giuseppe Torcio, but as he was fighting with somebody else, there's not very much else that could have been done for now. Torcio's ever so slightly getting closer now. He's getting quicker up. I feel like he's at least catching ever so slightly. Kyle Graf now needs to worry because he does see Romy within that 2-second vignicity here. Although it looks like the gap has remained the same over the last lap at least, so there's no improvements for now. Also, lads, I hope that we don't have an issue with me and my internet soon, as it looks like we have a pretty heavy storm outside at the moment here. I'm safe, don't worry, but, you know, because lightning strikes my house, there's not much else that I can do. Romy still P2. Still would love to get so much closer to the Frenchman here, but she's not been able to pull over that move, as it looks like now we might have two drivers fighting again. As Torcio makes way past Alan Palmer here, so I guess he made a mistake along the way, or suddenly was approaching rather rapidly. Rafetta still sees Carlo Messina behind him as well. Not quite yet though, but it might come anytime soon. We don't know, but we're just gonna wait it out and see what happens, I suppose. Let's see who else is gonna fight then. It looks like nobody really is for the time being. They're all doing their own thing. A bit of a shame. Would love to see a little bit more out of this, but just who's gonna do it? I don't really know by now. I'm just waiting it out, seeing what happens. As Corsa now slightly started to catch the other two. Looks like it won't be good enough for the time being though. Apologies if I've mentioned this before, I think, but I do have a throat infection, so if you hear me coughing, that's what that is. We're also going to give this a go then. Strual is catching now. He would love to get a little bit closer, but he's doing some hard work right now just to try and get there. Looks like now Messina and Rafetta found each other. Finally, we see something happen here. It took a little while, but Looks like finally we have. That's great to see. Now, is it going to be Messina or Rafetta in the end to come out on top? It's question that I'm asking myself for the time being. It could very well go either way, I think. Battle has been close. I must say I've definitely enjoyed this season. My second season in rFactor 2. It's really been going well. It's just such an awesome game. I feel like it's got that extra potential. You know, it just has that flair that I can't really describe, to be honest. But yeah, that's great. I've been loving it. I hope we get to see more out of this. You know, in Sector 3, I don't know how much that matters. It's Romy versus Gillies, at least for the time being. This is so close as well, and Romy now falling all the way back is definitely not something that I was expecting earlier as well, but it is the harsh reality. As all the drivers now come in over the final straight again, we haven't really seen an order change here. It's Palmer and Struel still going at it. Surprised me a little bit, but I'm all here for it, to be honest. And I don't know whether that order's gonna change anytime soon, but it's been a good battle to watch over time. I've enjoyed every single second of it, at least. Now there is on the outside, but luckily I'm all safe inside and nice and warm and cozy. Which is great. Now that's, by the way, for the rFactor 2 comes. If there's anything that I can do to improve the stream, I love to hear about that. Because I don't know how much else there is to offer in terms of external programs or overlays or anything along those lines. Except if your feedback's just stop being sick, then in that case I'm sorry, but I can't help you. I'd love to. When do we see this change up here? When do we see that the drivers that, you know, I've been working so hard to get where they wanted to be. When are we going to see them fight a little bit more? It just seems to be kind of passive and nobody really is able to move up, it feels like, which is a little bit of a shame to me. Looks like we don't really see much else change for the time being. So we're just gonna wait it out. See what happens next. But as for now, it's looking quite okay. And I'd love to see what else comes out of this. It looks like now finally Rafetta and Romy are fighting again. Messina's also getting involved in that, so it might still be a spectacular final. Don't know yet, but I could imagine it going down that way. See what happens, you know, it's always good to see that it's getting a little bit more intense, you know. It's all these three now going over that finish rather soon. So when do we find that move that could do the trick here? Time will tell, but as for now, it's looking quite okay. It's so close here between the last three, but I'm not able to do it just yet here, so I'm just going to be waiting out my time. See what happens. And now it's going to be Messina in third, Rafael comes in fourth, and then it's going to be Andrea Romy to come in behind them as well. And it looks like that's just going to be the order for now here. No changes here, so it's Graf in first. And, well, I guess I can only say one thing. Congratulations. He's been doing really well. Try and close it out here, but not easy, and we know that. And it's going to be Kyle Graf, Pecoraro, Messina. And it's going to be Rafetta, Romy, Gillies, Brunel, Torcho, Palmer, Struhal, Nota, Adam Brown, and then Nate Himmelsbach in last position as well, as he's got disqualified all along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have enjoyed. We are going to be taking a small break, and now we're back with race number 2.
just calling to say I... calling to say I...
Alright, it looks like we are now coming back to the grid here. It not sounding too good here in terms of the weather, but oh well. As long as it doesn't affect me, we're fine, I guess. We are almost ready to go now. It's not going to be too much longer, I think. The lights are gonna go out, and we are underway with race number 2. Ooh, that might be a false start from Alan Brown. It looked like it at least. It's Tom Bernil to get a penalty. But I think Alan Brown might have been too quick of the line as well. It definitely looks like it might have stole the engine or something. It looked a little bit weird, but as for now, everybody makes it through turn 1, and it looks, well, I guess compared to the first start, rather clean. Lots of overtakes are at the front group already here. It looks like it's all coming down. Graf leads, then Spegararo, then it's Messina. Andrew Romy finds himself in P4. Now he knows he needs to beat out Kyle Graf, at least get a little bit closer to him. So the job isn't done just yet here. We are seeing everybody come through, and looks like it's all fine for now. No changes as of yet. In the order, it's still Graf, then Pecoraro, then Messina, then Romy. Behind is Rafetta, Brian Gillies, and then I believe it was Tom Bernil. Yes, that is correct. In the voxel here, there's a yellow in sector 3, but what's happened? It's not towards here. Where did it happen? I'm not sure. Could have been Alan Brown. I'd be surprised here. Yep, it was Alan Brown. Unfortunately, once again, he's just been having a nightmare weekend so far. Not able to perform whenever he wants to. Looks like the order's just kind of all set for now here. We're aboard with Andrea Romy, who is braking very late compared to Carlo Messina, so he's able to make up a lot of time here, but that exit's got to be good. Look at how close to the wall he is. He's just on the absolute limit. It seems so good for now. Rafetta would love to get around as well, but unfortunately he hasn't been able to do so just yet. And we gotta see that move, I'm not sure. But it is going to be the same order still here. No changes as of yet. As we get into another lap here. Kalgraf once again sets that fastest lap time overall now. Now that's no surprise, as he is the only one in clean air right now. Just focus up on his own thing, and Figueroa is far enough away for him to just not interfere with anything. He doesn't really need to take alternative lines. He can just focus up on his lap times and do his thing. Brian Gillies finds himself in a good position in this race as well. Gotta say it. There's some massive thunder shocks coming around now. Looks like it's all good for now though, as there's an absolute fireworks show coming on in terms of the lighting here, but Messina in 3, Romy in 4, Rafetta in 5 for now. Who's gonna try to get a move on here? It looks like Torcho's lost a bit of time, and now Carl Struel's all over him. The first 103 lap time set here by Kyle Graf. It's a 103.999, but still it's under the 104 at least. He's getting there now. He's able to create a gap. Pecoraro is not able to keep up, it looks like, at the moment. And it looks like Pecoraro is going a little bit more slowly now. That's lost half a second there compared to Kyle Graf. I don't know how it's just done that here, but looks like he's killing it right now. He's doing his own thing, nailing every single corner entry and exit, and just focusing up on his lap times. So Pecoraro is struggling to keep up for now. Rafetta still comes in. Messina goes side by side here. And it is a little bit of a bump there into Andrea Romy. He gets touched a little bit. all we were hoping for at least here, but looks like it's all set for now. Letting it out a little bit more to see who's going to get a move on here. And coming on board here with rFactor, he's honestly nailing everything right now as Romy goes down the inside of Messina, and that might also allow rFactor to capitalize. Not yet, it appears. The order stays the same as there's a yellow in Sector 1. These drivers are all past Sector 1, so what's actually happened I'm not sure. Adam Brown's been set on a lap already. Yeah, he's really not having the time of his life around Hockenheim. That surprised me, you know. I mean, Alan Brown isn't a driver that we expect to be in the top 3, but he's still a driver that we know is quite good and has shown that as well, right? I mean, just quickly cheating here with my cheat sheet that I have. He's still in P19, but he's missed a couple races as well, which isn't doing him any favors, of course. But the order remains the same. No surprises there. Palmer is through out then. They are getting close into this. The number 44 sees Carlos throughout just do his own thing, and he would love to get such a tiny bit closer so he could try and open up an attack. At the moment it's not really happening, is it? But the order remains. No changes as of yet. Except that Andrea Romy has gone loose. He is now second, which is something that he happily will take. Big hit there. At least for the standings, it's going to be important as well. And obviously, the gap is rather large, so I'm obviously worried about nothing. Just think about it this way, right? There's 66 points for the number 1. 60 for number 2. So as long as it stays like this, he's never really getting into that danger zone. Unless one of them scores massive points and the other one gets disqualified, or for some other reason is not continuing in the race. Which I guess is not the case for now. Messina then wants to go down the inside here of rFactor, and I think he's already pulled that off, but they're still side by side coming over the main straight. Messina on the inside. Love to complete that move, and he's going to be able to. rFactor gets squeezed a little bit more towards the outside than he would have liked perhaps, but it's all good for now. And it looks like Messina pulls off that move and is now definitely passed. Well, these still haven't gone anywhere, these drivers that we're watching right now. As it's all good for now. Still Alan Palmer chases here. Torcho's not really safe just yet either, so they're gonna come for him eventually. Means I gotta keep my eyes out here, because when do we see a move happen? Time will tell. But it looks like Torcho is just ever so slightly creating that gap here. So now we've got more battles going on there. Nota versus Pecoraro. Pecoraro had a horrific race. I mean, not horrific, I guess that's a little bit overdoing it, but hasn't had the best of races. Let me just say it like that then. He was a little bit further up coming out of race 1. And unfortunately not able to continue that. I guess that's just how it is sometimes. Ooh, if that is not going rather wide, then Pecoraro, well, is going to see that he's now faster into this. And I don't know what's going to happen now, but it is looking quite okay for Pecoraro as he makes his way past now at least. Now Messina versus Raffetta again. It's going to be Messina to defend, and he defends rather well. For the time being, it's all good. Just how much more is there to find? Time will tell. It's all good for now. Might see that order change a little bit later on as well, as now Brian Giddies is getting involved in that mix as well. That's gonna do them massive favors here too. So it's getting just a little bit more heated into this. So we're all good for the time being. It's Raffetta, then it's Messina, and it's Giddies, but Messina, they're really aggressive over those curbs. I don't know whether that was the plan or not, but looks quite okay as Messina and Giddies have once again found each other. Well, I mean, half really for the entire time, and we just don't see much changes into that. It's very nice to see that these battles are getting closer and closer. Don't know how much else there is to find though, as all these drivers are just doing well, trying to do their own thing. Looks like Strual is still ahead of Palmer, but still no way past the Cooper driver in Giuseppe Torcio. Not yet, at least here. We're not seeing any changes yet. So I'm just waiting it out, seeing what happens. Looks like for now it's all good at least. I'm just going to be waiting it out, see what happens. I can only imagine this getting closer and closer over time. For now it's all good. I know we're going to see some changes in terms of the drivers. It's kind of all been similar, and it just shows how difficult it is sometimes to try and overtake. Not easy on a track like this, is it? We know that. So I feel like it also just is the nature of the cars, and obviously you can send them free wide and you can trade paint from time to time, and that's no big deal, right? But still wouldn't make me too comfortable, to be honest, if I gotta say what I think. Looks like the order really hasn't changed much. And Torcio still ahead. Struhal in P9. Nothing's changed over time here. They're all just kind of doing their own thing. It's still Graf, Romy, Raffetta at the top as well. Well, Messina is still fighting at least, but he is gone a little bit further away, it looks like, for the time being. Looks like it's so good for now. Now Will's gonna try and fight there. Alan Palmer is still close up, but not there yet. We're just waiting it out, seeing if somebody's going to make a move later on. It looks like the order's still the same. You can also see that group at the front there in the background for us. At the moment, it seems to be all fine. And for now, it's all good. I mean, they're all just kind of doing what they're supposed to, I suppose, but not easy. I tell you that much. For now, it's all good, but it looks like Alan Palmer is now all over the back of Stroll here. Not there quite yet, though. But getting closer and closer. Love to get a little bit more out of this. As Palmer there, ooh, was a little bit wide, and I think that his opponent finds himself in the wall. Yes, that is the case. That's awkward. Well, that's one way to end the battle, I suppose. But maybe be able to save it there, but no, it turns out that's not an option anymore, unfortunately. So the order just remains the same for the time being. And now we wait for a move to happen. Can't tell you when it's going to be, but looks like Messina still has other things to worry about for the time being as well. I mean, you gotta admit here that what they're doing is not easy. And you know, the fact that these drivers just have the skills to handle these cars, I could never, to be honest, here in Himmelsbach now in a fight with Tom Bernil. We haven't seen those drivers at all. Surprisingly, but they're all kind of just doing their own thing for now. What does it bring? Looks like Tom Bernil is now just almost kissing him at this point. Not there quite yet, but was rather dangerously close. Tom Bernil keeps chasing. Belgian driver would love to get by here, but it seems like it's a difficult circumstance. For the time being, it's all good. Now, who do we see move on? It looks like it's still the same. Karl Struan, obviously, after that incident, finds himself involved in this as well, which was not what he was hoping for at all. It's just made everything a little bit more awkward. Obviously, nothing secured for the time being. It's Tom Bernil now. Wanted to have a look, I think, but has decided against it, which seems like the smartest move for now. Waiting it out, something's gonna happen eventually anyways. It looks like the order isn't gonna change much, but it's also the only battle going on. This is Tom Bernil now in the Vauxhall. 2.5 minutes left to try and do it. Now a lap roughly takes, I can't lie, a lap takes about 103, 104, depending on the driver. As Brian Giddies finds himself in the DNF. It's a little bit awkward as well. What's he done then? Back into the pits as Alan Brown's parked it all the way over here. He sets into that pit as well, so we have our first few disconnects are coming through. We're still driving in no man's land, and now we have a battle for the lead as well. Andrea Romi's finally been able to catch up with Kyle Grove. Looks like Kyle Grove is now just getting away again from Andrea Romi. He was a little bit close, but now just looks like he's gonna have to, well, get out of there. So close to each other. Just isn't there just yet. So close coming over that line for what might be our final lap here. It is close, but we'll see what happens. They're still so close to each other. Keep in mind this is for the lead as well. As they're gonna come into that second sector now, it looks like it's all under control. They are so close to each other, but they're not able to pull off that move just yet. Looks like Cowgraph will just take second victory here. It's 2 out of 2 for now. Unless Romy can somehow abuse that slipstream. Is so close, but no, it's not going to be it. And now a battle for P3 as well still. Affetta and Messina. So close to each other, but what's it going to be? It's going to be Affetta then Messina. And now Pecoraro comes in afterwards. Somehow Romy's put back to P6. I'm pretty sure that's not the case though, P5. But yeah, and obviously he did finish in the other position. So yeah, P2 it is still for him. That comes in P5 then. Sorcho's gonna come right after as well. Comes across that line in his TCR. Actually BTCC, but they're actually not the same thing anymore. So the BTCC is just a standalone championship now, as it obviously was inspired by the WTCC back in the day. Hemelsbach P9. And it's Brunel afterwards, meaning that we have one last driver to finish, and that's Truel. As the other two has gotten a DNF, so we are going to be taking a small break. And we're getting back with the reverse grid ready here. I can't wait. And let's see if that one also performs.
Calling to say I calling to say I.
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh baby. 125 in the middle of the night, got my engine thundering. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow us down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we all know racing. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Driving on the highway, lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Born to ride, Mustang 65, got that V8 engine with a fuel injection. Drop the clutch, pedal to the floor, turn that caper into a lion's roar. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow us down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we all know racing. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Driving on the highway, lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Driving on the highway, lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat.
It appears that we are once again back, and this time for the reversed grid here. Obviously set as a random point. That leaves Torch Show in P1, and then Nota in P2, and Romy is still in P3 as well, so that's going to be a great position for him to start in. as we are going to get on the way again soon. With Brian Gillies just ending that field right there. It looks like we are starting, but Brian Gillies has not moved an inch yet, so we are on the way at least. The rest of us are. Nota dives into that corner first, but that's a massive shunt. Alan Brown together with, I think it was Nate Himmelsbach. Yes. Oh, what was that then? I don't know how that's happened, but that has just maybe ended the race before it's even started here. The rest makes it all true at least. Looks like rFactor now also finds Graf coming around this inside, so around the outside, of course. I mean, Masino dives down the inside of Torcho and should be able to do that move as well. This is a little bit of too much pushing and pulling, which means that Alan Palmer almost went by. But by slamming into him ever so slightly, that is also one way to shut the door, I suppose. You know, everybody else makes it through. Not that leads, it's Romy right behind him, and knowing how well he's driven so far, should be able to make his way by. And as long as Graf is just stuck behind the other drivers, they should just be fine. Looks like it's all set in stone right now here, as Alan Palmer goes a little bit too wide, and that might mean that Tom Renil is able to make his way past here. Yes, indeed, that is the case. Carl Struel moves over with him as well. The order here hasn't really changed that much here as they get onto that second sector once again. Brian Gillies with the DNF already. He's taken that rather early. Being thought the damage was beyond repair, and that might just be the end before you even get to start. It's the harsh reality. Now making this way around the left-hander. Probably the most beautiful corner you can sit in my opinion, together with the northern side, which we are coming to in just a moment now. Those are, in my opinions, the best parts of this track. The order hasn't really changed that much. Torcho still in P4. He's holding on quite well. And now Renil moves up the inside of Carl Strual and moves up to P8. That's at least well done. Andy Romy sets a faster lap time, but it's only a 1:05.2. Now, to give you an idea, there was some 1:03s on the board last time around. Here, Pecoraro up the inside first, and it's Torcho and rFactor. I would love to go side by side into this. Carl Graf is falling back one position. That's great news for Romy and Nota for now. And also for Messina, who has put up a hell of a fight so far. Looks like the order is still the same here. rFactor's made his way past Torcho at least here, so he's getting another. Himmelsbach comes into that pits. I think he might also be calling it quits after today. Now, actually, now that I think of it, it was Himmelsbach that was hit significantly. Whereas Brian Gillies actually never got to start in the beginning, which is not what he was hoping for at all, but that's somehow how that's happened. Nota leads, and Romy almost loses control of his BMW there, but he is able to keep it just now. Order seems to be stable for now here, but it's then Graf and Torcho. Torcho moves back another position as Graf's gained another, back to his initial position in P6. rFactor and Pecoraro still fighting as well. Looks like the order's all set in stone right now, although Romy could try and move down the inside here. Is he going to make that happen? I'm not sure here. Would love to send it over, and he's going to. Not able to defend And Kyle Graf sets his fastest lap time already. But yeah, it is going to be Romy to move up one position in and also goes into P1. The problem is mainly for Kyle Graf is how do you get past somebody faster lads on the circuit immediately? Romy's just off and he really hasn't looked back ever since. This is Rafetta sees that Pecoraro almost locks up his brake. Struggles to make that corner, but utilizing the maximum to make it through just ever so slightly. But that was rather close for comfort here. Romy leads. It's Messina on the second for now. And it looks like the order is all the same for now. Jairo Rafetta would love to come around outside of Pecoraro here, or at least have a look somewhere. But at the moment he doesn't really have that gap for now, as I believe that I saw that Romy was already close to a back marker there. Yes, Nate Himmelsbach would need to get out of the way, and he does so as well. And obviously Himmelsbach was a little bit unfortunate coming into that here. Looks like the rest of the order still is the same for the time being, although Kyle Graf seems to be gaining on Rafetta. That is not a good outlook for him here. Bernil struggling with understeer it looked like, but doesn't manage to make that corner. Looks like Romy sets the fastest lap. Not able to dibble into the 103 just yet, but he's almost there. Cena now falling behind massively as well, so they're doing rather well now. They are building up that nice little streak of setting those faster lap times in now that everybody's kind of found a spot here to drive in. Rafetta's still looking to get around though. Will he be able to do so? I'm not sure. Looks like the order is all kind of set in stone for the time being. Torch Show would love to get a little bit closer, but also just isn't finding that gap at the moment. Tom Bernil has moved up to P8, and it's now Strua and Palmer to fight for P9. So they are not there just yet, but I suspect we might see a move a little bit later on. So we gotta keep our eye out here. This is what it looks like for Kyle Graf's POV. The Frenchman would love to get a little bit closer now. Just look at how much time he's gaining on the brakes here. This is well played. This is what I love seeing. It's so good for the time being. I mean, could see this go either way still. Just look at how close they are to each other now. And Kyle Graf just trying to defend for his life to get around, but not having an easy time so far. just making things a little bit more awkward. When do we see the move happening here? Who's gonna try and take initiative here? Bernil's still not safe either. I mean, Struhau and Palmer are still getting really close by. A little bit scary, perhaps. Obviously, nothing's confirmed just yet. They're still all trying to get in there. And it looks like the order will just stay the same for the time being here. They're fighting the hardest they can, but they're struggling to say the least. I don't know when we're going to see him move here. It's getting rather close. Calgraph just makes his way down the inside here for Feta, but it's not an easy take for him. But what we're seeing here is great. I mean, you gotta admire the fact that they've really fought for it here. Nota gets a slight nudge from behind as well, but luckily he's able to cover for it. So it's all good for now. And looks like we're all set in stone right now. 10 minutes remaining, meaning that we are halfway through the final race here, and 3 DNFs have been taken so far. Those drivers are Brian Gillies, Alan Brown, and also Alan Palmer. So both of the Allens are out for the time being here. Feta's so close and gives a little bump draft here to Pecoraro, but almost slams right into him, to be honest. Now it's getting close. But just no potential to make a move up, right? They're just a little bit too far still, and you really need to be right up there to try and get a move on. And there goes Pecoraro down the inside now. Good move for seeing here. Took a little while, but looks like he's finally completed it. Which is just what we were hoping for. And Pecoraro slips and slides his way through the corner now, so he's maybe also a little bit stressed by how things are going. It's so good for now. I mean, we are just experiencing a really good race, at least from my experience, where we're really getting up there in terms of, you know, driving ethics. We're really getting close in terms of pace as well. I've seen some amazing racing so far, and I can't wait to see what this brings for the rest of the upcoming seasons, as no details have been discussed yet, whether I'm going to be on the broadcast mic or not, but I guess we'll be able to tell eventually. And there is a small mistake by Nota, so Rafetta just moves up. And it looks like Tom Bernil is now catching Torcho as well, and he's been, well, I don't want to call him slow, he's been everything but that, but he isn't just not on the pace with the Top Guns at the moment, which is more than fair, you know? Like, there's no shame in that, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see how this one unfolds as well in just a moment, I think. When are we seeing this? We're just waiting for a move to happen, really. At the moment, it doesn't really seem like there's an option for either driver to try and get through, so we're all just waiting it out there. Kyle Graf, in the meanwhile, has moved up to P3 already. A massive result, very steady all along the way as well. Which obviously is only the most important part here. So it's going well for most of the drivers here. Cena would love to finish the race in P2 as well, and he's currently hitting his lap deltas quite okay. Last time was a 104.5, but I have seen him go quicker as well. So I'm impressed, you know, this is looking real good. So now we wait, see what happens. Getting closer to the end of it now, as Tom Bernil once again is all over Torcho. No moves as of yet. We might see a couple later on. Now we just wait it out, see if Tom will be able to get the move done here. I have my suspicions. Gonna go for it rather soon, as he really likes this track. I mean, I've talked to him a little bit more in private about this. He loves this track so much, and well, I guess it shows, you know. He's been able to put up some good fights. Unfortunately, not a top 3 driver or anything like that, but still, respectable efforts what we're seeing here. At least, in my opinion, that's definitely what it is. As I'm just kind of waiting it out a little bit more, hoping for a move potentially, but don't know when we will see that move. I'm still hoping for it, as Kyle Graf's now all the way over the back of Messina as well. And that is, generally speaking, not a good sign. But we'll see how that goes in just a moment here. It looks like Kyle Graf is just looking for the right timing here. He's not taking it aggressively. Just holding on to what he has. And then we'll see what that brings him, I suppose. For the time being, it's all good though. And there goes... Oh, almost a tap there. I was going to say that might just be a very slight touche, but he's played it rather well so far. But it is just going to be awkward now. And no matter what comes out on top, I think this is a a big win, I think, for some of the drivers that have really performed, at least in my opinion, above their standards here. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what follows along with that, as some of these drivers right now, they're doing a massive job at holding on to their positions. Carlo Messina is a great example of that. I can watch this battle for ages, and it just seems like it's basically hit a brick wall. And that in itself is impressive as well, right? Just doing everything right. Hoping to just get stuff done. There goes Kyle Graf around the outside. He tries again. That's obviously quite risky. But Messina not looking to give up. There's the touche between the two. Kyle Graf. Ooh, is he going to make that corner? Yeah, good recovery. But Messina ends up getting the worst out of it. Spagararo moves his way up now. That has just made it real awkward, I feel like. That's not good, you know. Now just waiting for something to happen here. When are we gonna see that? It wouldn't surprise me if we're getting a move on soon. Yeah, I think the order... I mean, it could still go either way, right? There's 2 minutes left to go. Things are looking quite okay, I gotta be honest here. Some of the drivers, I like what I'm seeing here so far. And I guess we are gonna find out rather soon what that move's gonna bring us, but it's hard to say, really. Time will tell. At the moment, there's no definitive answer. Tom Bernil still going at it with Giuseppe Torcio as well, and he did win that first. So close. Not there quite yet, though. So close to each other still. I mean, we've seen eventful race, I gotta be honest here, as Pecoraro comes into the pits. That's a very weird call to make. Maybe there's been a crash or something, but coming into the pits with such little time left, it's gonna put him down the order as well. And I can't imagine as to what that could be for. Gonna be, as expected, Andrea Romy to try and finish it there, and that's just gonna be him taking the championship all the way along as well. That is amazing. I mean, he's definitely performed when it matters most, and I can only say respect to what it's done. It's going to be P1 for him. Kyle Graf takes home a respectable P2 after eventually make his way past Carlo Messina, perhaps not in the way that he wanted to, but still pretty impressive what we're seeing here. It's going to be P2 and P3 for them. Afeda comes in a little bit later. Nota now in the pits as well. Just coming in to finish that race in P5. Don't know why he's made that call, but he's just going to finish in P5. And Pecoraro now coming in as well. And he is going to be finishing up behind the other driver. And actually, it seems like Nota, according to the game as overtaken, I don't believe it. It's going to be Tom Bernil in P7. P8 for Torcho there. And then Struhal P9, Himmelsbach in P10. Ladies and gentlemen, this tournament has been an absolute pleasure to cast here. Apologies for me being a little bit sick and not being able to do it as enthusiastic as I'd like to. But that will just be it for now. And, well, we haven't made any confirmations yet as to what's going to happen next. But I guess we'll find out soon. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. I very much enjoyed everything you guys have done for us so far. Thank you guys for the opportunity. Much love to FRL for allowing me to do this. Hopping into RF2 has been a pleasure so far. So I guess for now, we'll see you guys later. And whenever that might be, I'm not sure, but I will be back. I promise you that much. My name's Ricky from Hardesty Broadcasting, and I'll see you guys later.